Heroes, defenders of the weak, champions of justice. Like the ancient mythic gods of Greece, they inspire us. They make us smile. Some make us sad. Some even make us angry. But we can never, ever forget them. Villains may be fun, but heroes, they are the ones that inspire us. They're the ones that make us want to become more than we actually are. They can change our lives, even if they're not even real. That's why, in the next 10 weeks, I'm going to share with you guys the fictional heroes, the fictional individuals that have inspired me, that I have enjoyed the most, the ones that I have smiled and cried and got angry at, and the ones that I will never, ever forget. So, sit down, enjoy, let's get this show started. Hey everyone, Andrew here, bringing you another video, and today we're going to be starting off my top 10 countdown to my favorite champions, good guys, and heroes of all time. Now remember, this is not who I think is the best, just who I like the most. Now there's two things before we even start the countdown. First of all, is my first two picks may not be the most well-known characters, so it really doesn't start picking up until pick number 8. Then things start to roll. So if you're a little confused on who my first two picks are, that's understandable. Second thing is there are a few ties in this. It's hard for me to determine my definitive top 10 favorites. So I am going to have a few ties here and there, but it's understandable, and you'll know what I mean by saying it's understandable when you see them. So without any further ado, let's start this countdown off. Coming in at number 10 on my top 10 countdown would be Saya from Blood Plus. Now, I'm not a fan of anime. I respect it, and I understand the value it has in today's culture, but I've never really been a fan of it. However, there is one anime I do love, and my favorite anime, and that would be Blood Plus. Blood Plus. Now, for me to actually talk about Saya, I have to give you a little information about the show itself. Blood Plus is a vampire anime, but it treats being a vampire a little differently. It's not really a mystical thing, rather it being a disease being a vampire. They don't even call the vampires vampires, they call them chiropterans. And there's essentially 3 different kinds of chiropterans. Well, there's technically 4, but there's 3 major ones. There's the regular chiropterans, which are these big beastly monsters that just suck the blood out of you. Then there are the chevaliers. Now the chevaliers are they have a human form, and then they have their monster form, which varies depending on what the chevalier looks like. And they are the bodyguards to the queen chiropterans. Now the queen chiropterans, there's only 2 at all times, and they're always female. And the queen chiropterans have a lot of special abilities. For example, a queen chiropteran can only have children with their sister's chevalier. In addition to that, the queen chiropteran's blood is the only thing that can kill a regular chiropteran, or a chevalier, or their sister. And lastly, a queen chiropteran has to take a rest of, I think, 50 or 70 years, or something along that line. They're only awake for a certain amount of years, not that long. So in the show, there's 2 queen chiropterans. There is Diva and her sister Saya. Saya being the good guy and Diva being the bad guy, or gal, depending on how you want to throw it. And Saya, the thing is she was awakened prematurely during Vietnam, the war of Vietnam, or the conflict, because Vietnam was never considered a war here in America, it's considered a conflict. And she was awakened prematurely, and because of that, eventually she went back to sleep. But when she woke up normally, she lost all her memories. So Saya basically had amnesia, and she lived a life of a normal schoolgirl for a good amount of time. And then the chiropterans started coming in, and her life got thrown upside down. See, the thing I like about Saya is a normal human being. You know, despite her extraordinary powers and abilities, she is essentially a normal human being. And she's taken from her normal world and she's put into this extreme circumstance. I like to think of Saya as someone I like to think of Saya as what everyone would have to deal with if they were in her position. I mean, despite the fact she's the main character, despite the fact she has this tremendous amount of power, she's not the leader of the group. She's kind of bossed around by everyone. She doesn't know what to do. She breaks down all the time. And in addition to that, despite having all this power and ability, being the Queen Kairatsun, she never fully reaches her true power and ability. She's only probably goes halfway there, which is amazing, the fact that she's able to defeat Diva in the end, or even take on any of the Chevaliers, seeing that she's only at half strength. But Saya is really just an innocent, normal person put into extreme circumstance. And the emotions run high at the end of the series, where Haji has to do the task, the promise that he promised to Saya. And I can't tell you what the promise is, because that would just ruin a lot of the show. But Saya is pretty much a normal person thrown into extreme circumstance. And that's why I like her. And it was hard for me to pick a person from Blood Plus I liked the most. Because Kai started off as a piece of shit, but he evolved so much, and I really wanted to make him one of my picks. But I think I like Saya more because she's just so emotional, and she really is just a normal person put into this extreme circumstance. And her character is absolutely fantastic. You'll instantly fall in love with her. You'll instantly fall in love with her. And she has such history and depth to her. Seeing Kairatsun is basically our immortal. She had a completely different life before her life now. Essentially, in her last sleep, everything beforehand was different Saya. It was a different mindset, a different personality. The Saya you deal with during the show is like her in a true, innocent, new life form. If that makes any sense. It's like two different people, but the same person. She's just quite an interesting character. And I like her because she's really a normal person put in an extreme circumstance. So that's my number 1 pick. My number 10 pick. My number 10 pick. And I think anime fans would probably know who Saya is, but other people probably wouldn't. Like I said, I'm not a big fan of anime. I really don't care for it that much. However, Blood Plus is such a great anime. It takes itself seriously. It has... I recommend anyone to watch Blood Plus because it has a great storyline. It's 50 episodes. There's the DVDs out right now. There's volume 1 through 4, and each volume having 4 episodes each. I only have volume 1 through 2, but it's a great anime, and I recommend anyone picking up. I think you should be a little bit older and a little bit more mature to understand some of the themes, but it's still a great anime, and Saya is a great character. There's tons of great characters. Haji, Kai, Diva, all of them, Solomon, all of them are unique and great characters. Saya stood out probably the most to me. So, with that said, I'm going to end the review here. Check out Eric's review, and also check out JTray997 because he's going to be joining in with us. So with that said, this is Andrew saying peace out for now.